That's really, really scary. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today's nonsense is brought to us by Gimp98, and it is built around the idea of Prime Speaker Vannifar. 4 mana, 2/4, sacrifice another creature and tap it. Search your library for a creature card mana value equal to 1, plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle, activate only as a sorcery. So, many of you may be familiar with the card Birthing Pot. It's a card that was in Modern for quite a little time and then got banned out. So this is a similar thing here in Historic, where you are going for something of a toolbox of creatures. You'll notice there's a lot of 1-ofs, a lot of 2-ofs, things like that. It's because when you're activating Prime Speaker Vannifar, or as a backup plan, Neo form, you want to be able to move from one mana cost into another mana cost into another mana cost like that. So you'll even notice a few cards you might think, man, that card's pretty underwhelming, but it's only a 1-of, and you choose it in situations where you need it. So, for instance, Vampire Sovereign is widely considered to be a bad card. In this particular instance, Gimp has it here because you can Prime Speaker Vannifar or Neo form into it if you're up against like the mono red decks and you're in a lot of trouble that way. In that instance, Vampire Sovereign coming down relatively early is a good thing. You know, it comes down, drains a little bit of life, you gain the life, they lose a life, but it also blocks really well against everything that's mono red. But it's only just a 1-of, so it's not like you're going to be drawing a bunch of them and regretting your life decisions, right? Similarly, there are other cards that are a little bit situational as well, Reclamation Sage and things like that. And keep in mind, if these cards don't tend to do very much in the matchup you're in, you can still cast them and then, sure enough, Neo form or Prime Speaker Vannifar them away. Another linchpin of the deck is going to be Journey to Eternity, so we're turning those creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield. Vivian's Arcbow as another value engine. You may pay X and discard a card. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put a creature mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom. So all of these, very grindy late game style things. Gimp, a talented deck builder, and someone who is constantly in search of having a lot of fun. So we're going to try and test this out and see how it plays. All right, folks, here we are up against Nemo, and yeah, this hand looks good. We have, mana into Incubation Druid, hopefully into Prime Speaker Vannifar, as long as we draw one more mana. It is true, we're on the play, and sometimes 2-landers on the play will come back to bite you. But, alas, I don't think this is a hand we can throw back, so we're going to keep it. All right, here we go. Overgrown Tomb, tapped. Go on ahead, Nemo, go on ahead. We're going to have to do a lot of editing this game on, I think. All of this silent stuff has got to go. All right, Nemo deep in the tank there on their turn. We're kind of gonna have to do a little creative editing on this, I think, because Nemo taking a good deal of time. But we do draw a Watery Grave for the turn, which is very, very good. Hopefully, our Incubation Druid will stay around so that we can cast a 4-drop next turn. Hey, yes, sign me up, pay that life. Prime Speaker Vannifar, come on down, pass the turn back, see what our opponent does. Deeproot Cascade into Breeding Pool for our opponent. What is your turn 3, Nemo? Ooh, Pollywog Symbiote. And a tapped land. Well, I think we're just going to Hostage Taker, steal away the Pollywog Symbiote, and let's see. Yeah, just Breeding Pool tapped and attack, I think. Remember, we can only activate this as a sorcery, and I don't really want to sacrifice either of these currently. Next turn, we can Vengeant Vampire if we want to. Alternatively, we can Tendershoot Dryad, potentially. Okay. So, I think we're going to... Interesting. We could get a 5-drop, so there's like Biogenic Ooze, Vampire Sovereign, Massacre Girl. Or... Alright, so let's... Yeah, let's just add a black here. Sacrifice the Incubation Druid. And go after Glasspool Mimic. Yeah, or, oh, well, interesting. Maybe we're better off on Plague Crafter because we have a Muldrotha coming up. Alright, let's do that. Alright, and then being able to get that back repeatedly seems pretty good. And yeah, I think we'll just let this enter tapped. Cast the Baby Godzilla so they can't easily get it back. It also gives us something to sacrifice on future turns to Plague Crafter. And we'll move right along. It also gives us something to sacrifice to the Prime Speaker Vannifar, right? Alright, Dreamtail Heron. Coming on down. Interesting. What 3-drop could we get here? There was Thief of Sanity that would be nice, but I don't think it's going to resolve. Or, I mean, I don't think it's ever going to connect. It might just be Slam Vengeant Vampire time, because then we could sacrifice it to get a Koma. Yeah, I think so. So, Vengeant Vampire, Prime Speaker Vannifar, sacrifice the Vengeant Vampire, destroy the Dreamtail Heron, go get a Koma, cause our opponent to concede, I think. Yeah, your go, opponent. That was kind of a rough turn for our opponent, I think. But, alas, that is the way that the ball bounces sometimes. Opponent goes with a Poliwag Symbiote again. And thinking about it, does mutate onto it. Doing a little looting. Okay. Alright. These are fine things to do. Thinking about it. Deep in the tank. And draws a card. Okay. Let's make another mutatey dude. And I guess just attack, 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 attack. Let's see, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they must block here. Okay. Your go, opponent. Gonna take the free block? Okay. That doesn't seem wise, but I can understand wanting to go down swinging. So GG, Nemo. GG. Alright, folks, here we are up against Nettling Imp, and this hand is pretty awkward, but I think we're going to keep it. We need to draw into our Neoforms and whatnot like that, but, you know, you're never going to have a perfect hand. So trying to decide how to go about this, I think we're actually going to lead on the Hinterland Harbor, so that if we draw into another green land, we can go Llanowar Elves on our turn, should we choose to. Okay, we did not get it. So I guess it's just Llanowar Elves, Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn. Inconvenient. At least now this is an untapped land again, but I will admit, we're a little chagrined about this life gain strategy across the table from us. They do a lot of really, really nasty things. Pretty quickly, too. Oh, boy, okay. They must have a wild, wild hand. They didn't have a turn 1 life gainer. They just run out the Voice of Blast on 2. Presumably, they have at least 1 collected company. Who knows? Maybe 2 collected companies or something? Like, I'm not sure why they kept this hand. But I can say without equivocation, there are powerful things that deck can do. Let's just hope they don't do them against us. So, okay. Prime Speaker Vannifar, come on down. And gonna go ahead and pass. Our opponent takes the turn back. And plays a land. Up to 5 mana available this turn. Presumably they have at least 1 collected company. Oh, Sigarda's Splendor. Okay. Well, this is inconvenient because we do have a way of destroying enchantments But it's at 3 mana, not at 2 mana. So we would have to sacrifice a 2-drop to get there. So I guess we could just Tendershoot Dryad, break my heart, because I love this card, but I think we're going to go into a Demon of Dark Schemes. Kills off our own Llanowar, but it kills both of their creatures as well. I'm not strictly thrilled about this, you know, but gives us a bunch of energy, which we still need 1 more energy to be able to do, but, you know, once we have 1 more energy, just 1 more energy, we can bring something back from the graveyard, which would be a good thing as far as I'm concerned. We'll see. Okay, opponent goes with Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. Interesting. Is this legendary? It's not. Okay. So let's just attack here. We could sacrifice Demon of Dark Schemes to get a 7-drop Meteor Golem, actually. Is that better? No, I think we want to activate it. Let's try and bait a block from our opponent. Because if they block with the Righteous Valkyrie, we just Glasspool Mimic the Demon of Dark Schemes. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, it's also strongly possible they think that we're going to board sweep. If they think we're going to board sweep, they just chump. Oh boy, Heroic Intervention. We're actually pretty thrilled about getting that out of their hand, because that is a nasty, nasty card. Let's see. So then I guess maybe we just Thief of Sanity, Llanowar Elves, play the Glasspool Mimic as a land then? Yeah, I think this is fine. Keep in mind, folks, our opponent does not draw cards because the Sigarda Splendor does not, you know, it noted their life total as whatever that was, 20, and so we were able to knock them down under the marked life total by the Prime Speaker attack as well. So then, not drawing cards there. And Collected Company coming out of the hand. E-I-E-I-O. Oh, my word. Righteous Valkyrie and a Heliod. Jeez Louise. Ay, Chihuahua. Let's see. How do we handle this? Is it just sacrifice Thief of Sanity to capture the Heliod with Hostage Taker and then recast it? That would leave them with 2 Righteous Valkyries, though. That's really, really scary. We could just hostage, or, well, then we wouldn't be able to get a Hostage Taker because we wouldn't have another 3-drop. All right, let's go for the highest upside play here. Hostage Taker, grab a hold of Heliod, and then attack with Demon of Dark Schemes. All right. Opponent might double block here. Chooses not to. Wants to protect their life total. Wants to draw cards. These things are reasonable. Okay, we can now activate, and we could get back either or any of the creatures from their bin, or the Tendershoot Dryad from ours. But I think... we're just supposed to shock in for Koma, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes, we have 6. All right. Well, let's see if we can make this happen, folks. I am a little concerned because they're doing very powerful things over there. But, you know, we're doing some pretty powerful things as well. We have Koma, Demon of Dark Schemes, Hostage Taker, all, you know, with their Heliod underneath it, all on the battlefield right now. So, I think next turn we might grab Righteous Valkyrie from their bin and then cast Heliod into it. Okay. yes, these are very powerful things. No question about that. Not thrilled about that. Okay. Opponent gonna attack with that Righteous Valkyrie? Does not. Okay. Whew. This is a wild one, folks. Alright, so... our turn. Koma. Okay, the opponent makes their stuff hexproof and indestructible this turn. Interesting. Alright, well, let's... Demon of Dark Schemes. Get back a Righteous Valkyrie. Then Heliod. Oh shoot, folks. I did not compute that properly. Well, I was thinking we were going to gain the life there, but I forgot that it would be not a creature, right? So I think we are just going to sacrifice... Well, shoot. Yeah, we could sacrifice a Llanowar Elves to go to a 2-drop. This is tough. Alright. Yet another energy, sure. Incubation Druid. Yep. No attacks. We've got to hold on here. We just got to survive, you know? Alright, opponent has their Cigar to Splendor, draws a card. Now their creatures won't have hexproof and indestructible, so we can go and get Ravenous Chupacabras. Well, a Ravenous Chupacabra. To kill Righteous Valkyrie, almost certainly. Alright, opponent activates their Cleric class to have the Heliod style ability over there. And Soul Warden comes out of the hand. Alright. Counter goes on to Righteous Valkyrie. Alright. Righteous Valkyrie gains some more life. Counter goes on to Angel of Vitality. Opponent gets in with both. We are currently quite low life total. I'm worried they might have, like, a hexproof thing or something. That would be, you know, like Snakeskin Veil. And then we could die. Ah, golly. Well. Let's see. Alright, let's not die. I feel like we've got a lot going on here as long as we don't die. Alright, another Koma. Opponent going to gain some life. Opponent going to throw a counter onto Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. We draw a card. It's Vivian's Argbow. Okay, that's good. So Prime Seeker Vannifar going to sacrifice the Righteous Valkyrie. Or... well, darn it. Yeah. Let's see. How about the Incubation Druid into the... everybody sacrifices a creature. Yeah, Plague Crafter. Opponent gonna gain some life. Yep. Opponent's gonna put a counter somewhere. It's on the Angel of Vitality. Sure. We're going to sacrifice a snake. Yep. Let's Neoform the Plague Crafter into Ravenous Chupacabra. Kill the Angel of Vitality. Go to combat. Attack with a lot of things. Opponent drops to 32, which is below that threshold. Okay. Righteous Valkyrie, not yet large enough to kill us, but we do have our own blocking Righteous Valkyrie, should the situation prove advantageous. Our opponent can kind of attack here, right? I'm a little bit expecting, yeah, I was going to say, for them to level up their Cleric class and get something back from their bin. Gain a little bit of life. You know, have a little defense. And then make the Righteous Valkyrie into something that can kill us. Okay. Thinking about it. Getting back the Angel of Vitality. Yeah. Counter goes over here. Yep. Cleric class. Counter goes over there. Sure. Ooh, Prosperous Innkeeper is actually a really, really good draw here from our opponent. Alright, combat. I assume our opponent just attacks. They do. Alright, well, we block because we don't want to die. Alright, well. Not strictly thrilled. Oh boy, holy crud, folks. That was a good one. So, Journey to Eternity. On our Ravenous Chupacabra. Ravenous Chupacabra. Go away. Come back. Kill the Righteous Valkyrie. Get a Massacre Girl. That sweeps the entire board. Is that good for us? I'm not actually sure that it is. I think we're better off just with a Vampire Sovereign here to block the Angel of Vitality. Yeah, counter goes over here just to make it a little bit more lethal, sort of thing, you know, on the attacks. Okay. Opponent decides to take all the damage. Unsurprisingly, they have an awful lot of life to play with. But this does prevent them from drawing a card. So, we are battling, folks. We are battling. Hey, we get there! Holy crud. That was a wild one. GG, Nottingham. GG. Alright, folks. Here we are up against Demon Delicious. Good luck, Demon Delicious. And yeah, I think we're going to keep this. Going to start on Llanowar Elves. And hopefully progress Watery Grave, Thief of Sanity, hit with Thief of Sanity 12 times, make our opponent wish that they had never been born. That's the goal, anyway. We'll see if it lives out. Actually, Hinterland Harbor, not Watery Grave. Demon Delicious goes with Fable Passage, cracks immediately. For Plains. Okay. Well, Thief of Sanity, come on down. Folks, we are hoping to be able to peel cards from the top of their deck. Prime Speaker Vannifar, sacrifice them away. Live the dream. That's the thing we're hoping for. Demon Delicious goes with a Mountain Do Not... Okay. Alright, I thought they were going to Lightning Helix. I would have been very, very sad. So, Thief of Sanity. Yes! I love hitting with Thief of Sanity. Interesting. I guess it's going to be Ranging Raptors. But, you know, it's not exactly a thrilling one. The deal is, with the Marauding Raptor, we have plenty of creatures that just kills. Their deck is built to make Marauding Raptor very, very good. Our deck, not so much. So, interesting. We could... I think we're just going to do this. A little bit not super satisfying, but, you know, we get to kill their Kinjali Sunwing, hit with Thief of Sanity again, and hitting with Thief of Sanity, always a good feeling. You know what? More Ranging Raptors, what the heck? Why not? I think we will Vivian's Arcbow, because we are getting quite a bit of value off Thief of Sanity. So we may even have the mana to activate this sooner rather than later. Next turn could be Demon of Dark Schemes. We'll see. Alright. Fable Passage, sure. Yep. Demon of Dark Schemes would currently kill 2 or 3 of our creatures and none of theirs, so we really don't want to have to do that, but sometimes we must do what we must do. Opponent comes up with a green mana in Rootbound Crag. 2 white and a red. I'm worried this is Settle the Wreckage mana. So let's hit with Thief of Sanity, see what we get. Or try to hit. They could Settle the Wreckage it away. And I wouldn't even necessarily blame them. Alright. Sure enough. Thief of Sanity connects, gets us Okay. Kinjali Sunwing. Sure. Well, I guess let's just do all of the things then, I think. Actually, wait. No, let's get a Tendershoot Dryad and just start trying to run them over with card advantage, I think. Or, I mean, with creature advantage. Because we should have Ascend here. Very soon. And actually, yeah, this is fine. I don't think we want to activate the Prime Seeker Vannifar this turn. Actually, maybe that was wrong. I guess we were probably supposed to Prime Seeker Vannifar away the Llanowar Elves into an Incubation Druid. That was probably better. Yeah. Oh well. That's okay. Our opponent in a bit of a spot here, trying to get their own Ascend turned on. But our, Ascend already very, very much online. Admittedly, none of our creatures are very large. So, I was going to say, that's not ideal. But with the Tendershoot Dryad online, we're making a 3/3 every turn. Not just our turn, but every turn. So at the beginning of their upkeep, at the beginning of our upkeep, and so on and so forth, right? Making just a large amount of creatures. And from what we've seen of their deck, right? 3 toughness, 3 toughness, 3 toughness, 3 toughness. And this one that we've stolen away, another 3 toughness, this one 3 toughness. They're clearly, these will likely trade with some number of their creatures. Almost certainly. So, yeah. I don't even blame the opponent scooping them up. I don't think there was a pathway for them back into this game. So, GG, opponent. GG. All right, folks. We are back. And boy, do we have a good time. Honestly, we played 3 games. We won 3 games. We won against Mutate, Life Gain, and Dinosaurs. All of the games were pretty reasonable, I think. We were just in the play queue because, again, this is a viewer submitted deck. I don't like to bring those into ranked because people build decks for plethora of different reasons, and oftentimes it doesn't have anything to do with how often they win, right? For those of you who are curious, how do I get my deck featured on the channel? Well, my Twitch channel, John Likes Game, or twitch.tv/JohnLikesGames, has a little feature where you just, if you watch for some amount of time, every so often you get channel points. It adds up pretty quickly, and once you reach a given number of them, you can submit a deck, and you can either have it, I will play it on stream, or I will play it for the YouTube, and then it will be there for posterity on YouTube forever, theoretically, right? So if that's the sort of thing that excites you, come on over to the Twitch channel and just hang out. The channel points are free. It's just for watching. You don't have to do anything else. And that is what Gimp did here, and we are now featuring Gimp's deck here on the YouTube channel. What things might I change about this deck? Honestly, it played so darn well, it's tough to say. For me personally, I think the Neoform Arcbow range, or Vivian's Arcbow, and Journey to Eternity, as well as Prime Speaker Vannifar, like, that's just so much value. It's quite possible we want maybe some number of other 2-drops, perhaps over the Vivian's Arcbow. Every time we had it on the battlefield, I just wanted to do more with the cards we had already, right? So, it's also not great in this deck unless we're tapping it for at least, whatever, 5 or 6 or something like that. So that's super, super, super late game. Shouldn't do a whole lot in the early game, I wouldn't think. So just something like as simple as another couple 2-drops or something like that, just to have more progression with our Prime Speaker Vannifar seems like it would be a good thing. But honestly, it won enough. You can't really complain when the deck wins out. So I think this is just a little bit nitpicky, if anything, right? The only other thing we might do is just examine maybe some of the newest cards that come out. I can't help but notice it looks like Gimp hasn't maybe updated this deck for the most recent set release, at least. And who knows, maybe there's, let's say, a 4-drop or a 5-drop or even just more 2-drops in there that fit these colors really well and would be really good. So there is that. But honestly, my friend, the deck was fantastic. I appreciate you, Gamp98, for submitting this deck and for hanging out in the chat long enough to get those channel points to do so. So thank you to everyone who watched, and I'll catch you next time.